Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to talk about YouTube monetization, something a little bit different from what I usually talk about. Usually, I talk about bags and some shopping stuff. But today, I want to share with you my YouTube journey and how do I get there, and also some tips that I learned along the way. So hopefully, this video will help you if you are thinking of starting your YouTube channel. Never too late. So let's get to it. So in order to get YouTube monetization working, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 view hours. I know it sounds a lot and it did take a while for me to get to 1,000 subscribers, but you will get 4,000 hours faster than you expected as long as you frequently upload your video and continuously working on it. But it did take some time, so that's what you need. And also, once you hit the requirement of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 view hours, you will need to have a Google AdSense account in order to work. But don't worry about that, because once you get there, Google will kind of guide you through all the steps. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit of my experience. At first, I started a photography channel on YouTube, but it didn't quite work for me. And it did take a lot of practice to get used to be in front of the camera, because usually I'm the one that behind the camera. I remember having my friends to film my first self-introduction video, and that was quite a disaster, and it probably looked horrible. I don't even want to think about it now. So although the photography YouTube channel didn't work for me, but it did give me this opportunity to really learn the process of filming and editing and getting used to talking in front of camera, because this is really not something I'm good at all. Like, I really had to push myself through it and did a lot of practice, a lot of takes, and a lot of editing at the end. So I want to share that why the photography channel didn't work for me, because I think a lot of time is about timing as well. I used to travel a lot, so probably that would work better when I frequently travel. But since pandemic hit, I wasn't able to travel much. So starting a photography channel is challenging, because you basically don't go out, and I don't think it's interesting to photograph random things at home. Although that's kind of one of my favorite subjects. I love to photograph random stuff and abstract random stuff. So, but that could be very boring for the viewers. So that's why it didn't work for me. And second thoughts, I could have started a YouTube channel to review camera gears, but then camera gear is much more expensive than buying handbags and tote bags and all that. So in long term, that's not really sustainable. Most cameras cost at least $500 to $5,000. So depends on your budget. There are a big range of cameras you can choose from, but they are all expensive. And for YouTube channel, I need to consistently put out videos, so I don't think that would work for me. I would need to buy a lot of camera. Compared to bags, I can switch out every day, but for camera, you don't want to switch your camera every day, because then you don't really get used to the experience and the feature. So it's better to stick with 1 or 2 cameras that give you a lot of practice, and you will get better in photography. So after trying and practicing my photography channel for a while, I decided I want to try something else. I want to try something that I'm passionate about also. And I'm always interested in learning more about bags, tote bags, handbags, and I have always buy bags here and there in my life. So I decided maybe I want to do that, because since I'm at home all the time, I spend a lot of time in shopping. So I thought maybe I could share my journey with you guys. Just talk about shopping and bags and all that. That's something I'm passionate about also, and I can consistently produce content on my YouTube channel. And if you wonder where I get so much money to buy all these bags, to be honest, most of my bags are not very expensive, and I spend a lot of time in researching and finding good deals, so a lot of time they are quite affordable. Also, during pandemic, I propagated a bunch of uncommon plants and sell them to local people, so I did make a good amount of money from selling plants. So in a way, I kind of just reinvest my money, or kind of channel my plants hobby to bags hobby right now. Also, I want to be honest that I'm not someone who struggles with financial to start with, so I'm fortunate that I have the ability to do that. That's why I chose to cover bags topic on my channel. Now let's talk about how I get to 1000 subscribers, because that was much more challenging than getting 4000 view hours. I uploaded videos like once a week or twice a week at least. So view hours just kind of rack up pretty fast. But for subscriber, I had a little bit of a funny story, because I'm not sure how many of you realize that I actually got to 1000 subscribers twice. One time something happened. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but my subscriber number went up rapidly, and I think it went from around 800 to 1200 within like 3-4 days. It was a crazy experience, and I knew something was off, because I'm more of a practical person. I don't believe in some random luck. But after it reached around 1200 subscribers, I decided, well, now it seems I'm over 1000 number, might as well just apply the YouTube monetization. So I submit my application, and then in 2 days my subscriber numbers dropped back to 900. It was kind of a roller coaster kind of experience, and to my surprise, YouTube did approve my monetization application, even though I only had 900 subscribers. So it's still possible if you're below 1000 subscribers. I don't know how that worked, but it works for me, and I guess something happened and I got lucky from that. So now I'm finally slowly climb above 1000 subscribers. Hopefully it stay this time. And if this is your first time coming to my channel, please subscribe, and I appreciate that. And also want to take this opportunity to thank my community and all my friends on YouTube channel. That's people who frequently comment like, I can't do this without all these wonderful people who come to watch my video and commenting on my videos. So I really appreciate that. Now let's talk about why should you be on YouTube channel. To me, I feel like YouTube channel is a great place to build a community. Like being on YouTube channel, I have made some friends. I have connected with the community who has similar interests. This is great because we can exchange information and sharing tips on things that we love. Also, if you are like me, that like I live in the countryside, so I don't go out much. It's not easy for me to connect with people frequently. It takes 20 to 30 minutes to drive somewhere. So it's a good way for me to kind of spend my time, connect with you, connect with people around the world without have to step out of the house. I'm not saying it's good to just lock yourself at home and just do YouTube day and night, but it's a good way to connect with people. Also, when you get to 1000 subscribers, you are able to apply for YouTube monetization, and it's a good way to make some side money. I'm not saying that you are able to make a lot of money once you hit that number, but at least it is something, and I will tell you how much I made later. YouTube is a great social media platform because the content, they last for a long time. Like people still watching the very few first videos, long form videos I uploaded about a year ago. Compared to other social media platforms like TikTok, like Snapchat, like Instagram, or even Facebook, people tend to not go back and look at your old content because most of them are short form content, either a picture or a short video, so you don't get so much information out of that. People tend to continue to watch YouTube videos even though some of them may be older, because it could be a useful information for a long time. For example, I moved to a house that has a pool, and I'm able to look up YouTube videos that talk about how to clean your pool, how to manage everything, the chemical and all that. And those videos, it was made like 3-4 years ago at least, and I'm still watching it. So that gives you an idea. Your effort can last a little bit longer compared to you posting on other social media platforms. Personally, I was on Instagram for years, like I can't count how long, and I don't want to think about it. Can you imagine if I started my social media journey on YouTube instead of Instagram? I mean, I probably have enough money to buy a Hermes bag at some point. So that just shows you the benefit of doing YouTube videos compared to other social media platforms. So if you are watching this video and you're still kind of hesitating and wondering how could you start a YouTube channel, I can share my story with you because as a photographer, I could have used a camera to film my YouTube channel, but since my iPhone is in decent quality and can film 4K videos, so basically I just use my iPhone to film my videos. Sometimes if I film a really long videos, my phone did freeze up, but it doesn't happen frequently. So far, it's okay. So if you want to start, you can just use your iPhone to film your 4K videos. And even many Android phones can do that as well. So just use your phone, just use what you have to start. Don't overthink it. At first, I didn't use a microphone, but once I started using this wireless microphone, the audio sounds so much better and clearer compared to directly pick up from the phone, because sometimes if I put my phone a little bit further, the audio recording is definitely not as good as having a microphone. So if you've found that your YouTube videos kind of audio quality is lower and sometimes it's hard to hear, that's because you don't have a microphone. With this microphone, you have to be careful because it's a Bluetooth connection, and sometimes either I forgot to turn it on or the connection was bad. It happened a couple times. I filmed a whole 15-20 minutes video without audio and I have to get rid of that, unfortunately. So there are a few videos that you haven't seen on this channel because the audio didn't work. So when you are filming, make sure you pay attention on the hardware if it's working. Right now, I'm filming with a big ring light that I got when I used to do portrait photography. But to be honest, I think it's best if you are able to find a background that's facing a big windows. Window light is the most natural and less harsh because using artificial light could be challenging to set up the angle, and especially for someone who wear glasses like me, the ring light often reflect depends on the angle and where you're looking at. So with a big window with natural light, it will be easier and you will look better. Another thing I want to mention is the other day my friend asked me about the music I use. When I was doing my photography channel, I used to subscribe to this music service, but it's so complicated because sometimes when you use their music, even though you have the copyright that you are allowed to use it, but when you upload to YouTube, there is a disconnection between the copyright company and YouTube. YouTube will give me this copyright warning. So now I just use whatever music I can find on YouTube. On your YouTube channel studio dashboard page, you can find a music tab on the left corner there, and click on that, you will see a long list of free music that you can use. And since I started doing so, I never have problem with copyright. So I would suggest you look into that if you want to add music into your video. When I first started, I would buy one of those like selfie tripod that you can convert it into a tripod for your phone. But then the length of the iPhone tripod is just not high enough. That's why you always see my video, I always sitting down instead of standing up like today. But recently I have switched to using my regular photography tripod, and it's much more flexible that you can change angle and it's more stable as well. So consider getting yourself a tripod. It would be helpful for long term. In terms of editing your video, I subscribe to this editing app that's called InShot. I think I only pay like $20 a year. I forgot how much I paid, but it wasn't much. I'm sure they have raised their price at this point, but I subscribed to the app like a couple years ago so that I was able to keep a lower rate. So I would say try out some editing app on your phone or on your iPad. See if it works for you, then subscribe to it. You do need some professional or easy to use editing app that will help your editing process going much smoother and faster. Now, if you haven't started, you're probably wondering, how do I get to 1,000 subscribers, or how could you get to 1,000 subscribers faster? But at first, I would say just try different topics that you are interested in. Filming, maybe even filming your daily video. Get used to being in front of the camera like you are talking to your friends. Once you get used to that feeling, things will go smoother and faster, and then you can be more productive. Also, once you upload a few videos, you will start to see the analytics that show you the data that what people like to see from you, and from there you can decide if you want to stick to it or you want to develop a new topic based on the data. And when you are ready to pick a niche, pick a topic to talk about, I would suggest you think about it first. If it is a topic that you are able to talk about for a long term, for like 5 years, do I able to stick to this for 5 years? Because you don't want to get tired after a year or two, because many people fail on YouTube channel because they can't stick to it. After a few years, after a year or two, they get tired of what they want to talk about. So if it's not a sustainable topic, you probably want to reconsider. When deciding what kind of topic you want to do on your YouTube channel, I think it's two main categories. One is informative and another one is entertaining. With informative videos, you can share, for example, that's me doing unboxing, sharing with you what I see, if this is a good looking bag, if the material is good, like my observation or my review. Those are kind of more informative. And some people, they are very knowledgeable in certain topic. For example, doing art and craft stuff, showing people how to do certain things, that would easily attract more audiences. In terms of entertaining, you can be funny, if you are good at telling a story, telling a jokes, you can pick any topic and you can start doing so. Sometimes an interesting personality really helps to build a YouTube channel. Anyway, my points are, you want to identify what are you good at or what are you providing for your subscriber. You want to make sure you are clear with that so that people will be willing to subscribe to your channel. For me, I'm still in a trying period. If you are familiar with my channel, I also do other kind of shopping, other fashion unboxing video, because I don't think that I can just solely do bags for next 5 years. I definitely interested in incorporate on personal style videos and some other fashion related topics. So if you are interested, please subscribe and hopefully you can give me advice and accompany me along this journey on YouTube. And if you decided you want to create an informative YouTube channel, try to be less personal. Unless you have over 100,000 subscribers, people tend to just go to your channel for the information. For example, I don't have a big channel, so mostly people come to my channel to learn about the bag that I have bought, that I want to show. Not so much of my personal life. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Anyone interested for me to talk about my personal stories? Probably not, right? So I would say, if you are just starting, stick to the information, the educational information that you can share with your audiences. And then lastly, I would say be less negative, because I think life is very stressful for everyone, even for me. See, need to stop talking about that. I think when people go on YouTube, people want to see energy, want to see something positive, fun. So I would say be less negative is better. Before I end this video, I do want to share with you that during my first month getting the YouTube monetization, how much I made. So let's look at it. It's not much. It's $84.11. It's not enough to buy one of the bags behind me, but it's something, right? We all start somewhere, so I wouldn't worry so much about it, but I just want to share this with you because I want you to be aware that not because you get to 1,000 subscribers, immediately you're making a tons of money. Unless you start to make viral video, then that's a different story. So I want you to be aware of it. If you are like me, love buying stuff and thinking you get to 1,000 subscribers, YouTube is going to pay you good enough money to sustain this shopping behavior, is not. It's going to take a lot longer. So you need to be financially stable if you decide that you want to do shopping video. It's going to be a while before you can make good enough money for that. But at least it's better than on Facebook, Instagram, right? I mean, think about how much time we spend on Facebook, on Instagram, and talking and sharing information, and I don't think they pay much or they pay anything at all. Like personally, I was on Instagram for years. I don't think it was beneficial for me at all. So now, after gaining 1000 subscribers, looking back and looking at how much I earn monthly, it's increasing but not by much. Would I do it again? I would say yes, I totally would do it again. I really enjoy this experience, talking to you all and sharing information, sharing my shopping excitement, things I found, deals I found. It's a fun experience. A part of not making much money is still a fun experience and definitely better than other social media platforms that I have been on. Some of the information I share with you today, I'm still working on it. I'm far from perfect or good at it, but I want to share this with you so that maybe if you have more suggestions or if you have questions, we can learn from each other and grow together. Feel free to comment below if you are thinking about starting your YouTube channel and what's stopping you. Let me know. And if you have more questions, feel free to ask. I always answer all the comments on my YouTube videos. Thanks for joining me today for this YouTube monetization talk, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.